So, ladies and gents, welcome. We've got a unique map for this one. This is Regicide Rumble 6, $25 per king snipe. Placement prizes for the top 3, and for the players who snipe the most kings, they get into a snipers final. To the players who win, they go into the grand final, and there will be pro games coming up the next 2 days. So we've got a lot of Age of Empires to come. Now, this map is called Aftermath. You start with a pre-built base, and then the gates just auto-delete, which is kind of weird. And then also there are trade workshops in the middle that you can collect that give you resources, which was explained to the players. Now, already the chat begins. I do need to point out things in regards to 2 players that are chatting right away. So, Arizona Ranger, this person's title on YouTube was the Master Gaslighter, okay? If you watched Regicide Rumble 5, he got into a game, and he just gaslit everybody, right? Like, he was honestly a master Diplo player, was very good at it and very experienced, but just kept saying the right or the wrong things, depending on how you see it. And Arizona Ranger started this off and said, guys, I'm new to this. How do I Diplo? So we'll see how that works. And I guess we'll just work our way around here. He was rigged in because of performances in the past, so he should be a favorite. And then the other player that we rigged in is actually right next to him. And it's apparently I'm supposed to say Popovici. This player was in a YouTube video recently. The Great Widow, or sorry, the Purple Widow. This player tries to form alliances through marriage. And every time someone would like ally Purple, it felt like they would die. Now, it wasn't always that Purple would kill them, but bad things happened. So, Popovici, sorry, I'll try and get the name right. But yeah, I was wondering, will Purple, I mean, there's money on the line now. Are they going to continue to do it? And Purple says, hi, I just saw your scout. We must be close. Do you want a team? I'm happy to marry. Smiley face. So, yeah, she is very into this. In fact, her like boyfriend played in a community game after she won a community game, and then he didn't win. And I'm wondering like what the relationship dynamic is there with those two. Okay, so we move along here. Here we have the tragedy of Russell. Now, he's played in Regicide Rumble before, got second place before, won money before. He also has very much wanted to be a legend and never became a legend, and so changed his name to Tragedy. He's playing as the Mongols. In the green, we've got OG Straggler Tree. Is one of the OGs, has been around the community a very long time. Expect him to be good, playing as the Georgians. In the yellow, also someone who's been around the community a decent amount, also known as Zolotl. We've got Nephthys here in the yellow playing as the Aztecs. In the teal, we've got Niohe, who has played in community games before, and is playing as the Vietnamese. In the blue, we have Adam. This guy's actually made a lot of the remixes we play on the channel. I know, it seems like I would rig him, but I did not. He's also played in community games before as the Portuguese. And then that brings us over to Gray, who I've never heard of before. I think this is the only player playing in their first community game in this one. There's money on the line, and their name is Cinerate Your Butt. And this individual is 800 elo. Everybody else is over 1,000 elo. Russell's at 1,100. A bunch of others around 1,100, and then the others are 1,400. So, and they are Khmer. And so Gray probably watched the first 2 games of Regicide Rumble 6 because Khmer won both of them. So we'll see how this goes. I think yellow and green are going to know each other very well. So I'm curious how that goes and if they'll form an alliance. But yes, there's been a lot of chatter here that I have missed in the intro. Popovici is asking for a male villager for the wedding ceremony. And that's what happened. Like, literally, Purple would only stay allies with people if they would bring one male villager and garrison them into her castle. And thus, the marriage was set. So, yeah, a lot to take in here. Again, these trade workshops give you a trickle of all resources except stone. So Straggler Tree is recognizing that, and he already has like 4 of them. And they will change alliances, or they will change color based on who runs next to it. And Russell is next to Popovici and might want to form that alliance. Now, do you think long-term, guys? Long-term, you want the corners to trade? And that's why I really like this map, because you can trade. There's a lot of other aspects in the middle. You kind of have a base to work with, but not really, because some of it's kind of tough to build on. And yeah, we'll see if people want to play along with Purple's games or not. I feel like half of chat likes the fact when players theme it up a little bit. And then other people, there's like a threshold where they're like, okay, this marriage thing is stupid. We don't like this anymore. Purple, oh, here we go. It says to T90 in chat, the wedding thing is an inside joke from my BF when we play Total War. I don't know anything about Total War, but apparently that's the backstory. He says, and I'm a female. I don't mean to talk bad about any women. Sorry, English is not my first language. Okay, so Purple, I think, maybe saw some of those remarks from people who weren't very pleased. And, yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Green's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trade workshops. So let's look at Green's stockpiles real quick. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but Green doesn't have anything on gold, and Green has 500 gold. That's all because of the trade workshops bringing in resources. So if I had to pick a favorite right now, I would have to... I would... See, OG Straggler Tree feels like too obvious of a favorite. He's sometimes too strong for his own good. And that could be the same with Yellow as well. It's kind of tricky. Honestly, guys, it feels wild based on the elos and the reputations maybe, but Arizona Ranger might actually be in a very good spot here. They were not the highest ranked player last time they won, and they might not be the early focus, and they can really use their diplomacy. Remember, he did well before. Could potentially do it again. Russell, when he gets into a game, he never stops talking. He just never stops talking. We found out so much about Russell already. We found out so much about his life. If he's going to the beach, what type of drink he had the day before, how his sleep was the night before. And, but he's going to go over to Blue and says, love your music. Yeah, Blue is AKA Throw Me Away, who's made a lot of remixes on the channel. This is an issue for me at times. With the community games, there can be too much chat. And so that's where it becomes a struggle for me to follow everything here. So I imagine I'm going to miss things. Chat, just speak up if I missed something that was really important. Now, Purple's doing the chat trick where it won't actually show all in front of their message in-game. But they've individually selected every single player. Capture Age doesn't actually pick up on this, but I'm experienced enough to know, and says, just to you, we will get married in a castle. And Teal actually said no. Blue said yes. A couple of people saying yes here. Yellow says, am I your only suitor? So Yellow knows that, you know, Purple's going to be flirting with everyone. And Purple immediately responds and says, the only one that matters, smile, smile, smile. Is that enough for you, my dear? Huh. All right. Well, I mean, Yellow knows what's up. Yellow's like, I know you're not just talking to me. And I'm wondering how Russell's going to perform in this game. Like, Russell is next to Purple, and Purple's not exactly aggressive early. Purple's very aggressive and gets some epic snipes laid. And one of the best snipes I've ever seen, Purple went for. And then also is next to OG Straggler Tree. I think OG Straggler Tree is going to be very, very willing to kill off Russell for the $25 and take this corner for the trade. You probably just need 2 King Snipes, and you're in the King Snipe final, guys. So you don't have to be loyal here. People like their loyalty, but still. Also, Gray has been very silent, probably because they're lower ranked and it's their first community game. We'll see how that goes for Gray. But in the game where everyone else has been talking, I think Gray probably needs to reach out to some people here or there. Someone asking about a water map. We will have some maps that incorporate water later on today and on other days. And here goes Gray. Incinerate your butt. Definitely one of my favorite usernames. Says, hey, Red, friends? And Red's not being very chatty right now, but I'm sure Red will want some alliances. And says, sure, also ally with Blue. And they might want corner here. Russell says, there's 2 spectators. And gasp. Russell's just something else. Thank you, Holy Byzantium, for the 30 months. And thank you for the primes, everybody. So, I don't really know what to make of the civs here. Aztecs is a little bit of a surprise to me. Now, Yellow would have picked 7th out of 8. It would have been, I guess, Niohe here who would have picked 8th. Aztecs is not a typical pick, but they can be good. You can go for the monks. You can go for the eagles. Of course, they have the skirms. They have the siege. But you really rely on gold. So that would be the main thing I'd say with the Aztecs. Now, Mongols makes a lot of sense. Khmer makes a lot of sense. But it would have been Incinerate Your Butt who picked first. And then it would have been Russell who picked second. Because we have it balanced out based on Elo. Mongols are absolutely top tier. And Purple is still looking for a bride. Has not happened yet. I believe it was a husband last time. Okay, so she's changing it up. I like it. And Russell's going to play along. So there we go. Wow. I've been with my fiance for 6 years, still not married. These people get into a game for 20 minutes, and they're already married. I mean, this is making me look bad. Making me look really bad. But okay, here we go. Here goes Russell. I don't know if it's good for Purple that the first person to accept the offer is named the Tragedy of Russell. But there she is. And Blue says to Red, I suck, by the way. I'll do my best. And Teal and Yellow talking about trade already. Yeah, these 3 guys. 1, 2, 3. I think they're the highest elo players. They're all directly next to each other. Definitely the players to focus on. And OG also says wife here. And I don't know where that villager may be. I'll try and keep track. But there's going to be a castle. Yeah, we set a date for the wedding next year. By the way, chat. So I'm not slacking too much. And it wasn't like I'm not ready to freaking marry her, by the way. Don't make jokes like I'm slacking. But we just have busy lives, and she's in grad school. We wanted to wait till after she graduates, which is coming up. It's crazy, man. As someone who dropped out of school, I mean, she's been through so much and is constantly working so much to get her degree. So, okay, chat, tell me if you think this is funny. So I have 0, besides a high school diploma, I have 0 degrees. Okay. And then she's going to have like her undergrad, master's, PhD. She's got like, I don't know. She'll have like 4 by the end or something. So I like to joke that once we're married, then we'll both have 2 degrees because what's hers is mine and what's mine is hers. She doesn't think that's funny. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, sure, she's done all the work. But that's life. We're married now. I'm educated. She doesn't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. And maybe educated people don't think that's funny, but all right, we'll see. Was this villager going to go inside the castle now? I think so. Yellow and Teal are actually having real conversations, not about fake marriages. They're talking war. You'll need to market bottom corner, or you go with me and Straggler to trade north. And Teal says I will market corner. Yellow also sending some resources to Straggler Tree, which is interesting. See if Straggler Tree responds to this. Does this mean that T90 is lowering her IQ? You could... Honestly, yeah. 100%. 100%. I won't even dispute that. So, No question there. Adam bringing a couple villagers over. And that villager, I guess this is the wedding ceremony. So we have a green villager in there. We have an orange villager in there. We have a purple villager in there. And now we're going to have a blue villager in there. So there will be everything safe there. And the king, of course, is in there. There's also a mule cart. So that must have been a mistake. But purple's alliances are starting to get set. Notably, red is not in there. So red is purple's next door neighbor. Hasn't jumped in. So we'll see if that happens. Stables from green are like set up directly next to yellow. So there could have, if I had to guess, I would say that green and yellow and maybe even teal, because they've all played in games before, the second they were selected, they might have done some pre-game Diplo. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Green says yellow, orange, we team. We take this side and trade. If I'm yellow, though, I'd be like, build those stables elsewhere. But maybe yellow said something. Oh, wait. I forgot about this. I'm so stupid. Yellow, see, like I said, low IQ, uneducated. I forgot already. Yellow says they will be my stables soon. So teal tries to give yellow a heads up, says no stable in your base that's too aggressive. He's like, don't do that to yellow. But the plan here is that yellow is going to convert green stables. And then Aztecs can actually make a Zalato warrior. Oh, wait a second. And everyone calls yellow Zalato. I forgot about that. Yeah, so like all of yellow's friends know him as Zalato and not this Nephis name. And I've been complaining about how, like, guys, that's one of the worst things for a streamer. Like, why do you have 7 different names? I hate it. Anyways, I have tried to, like, pressure via stream for yellow to have their name be one thing. Never worked. Never worked. Never changed. They leaned into it more, so we'll see how it goes. Dr. Manfred says education does not equal IQ. I agree with you. That's what I tell myself when I cry about my lack of education. I agree with you. Thanks for having my back. I'm joking. I'm not trying to imply that people who don't get education are dumb. There's actually quite a few people out there who, on paper, have education who might not be the brightest. But, not my fiance. Not my fiance, that's for sure. She's at work right now, so I think we're safe with these jokes. But she's with chat. She's always making... She's always has chats back, so I'm sure you guys would have her back. So I think yellow wanted 15 stables. And this also makes sense. Yellow is actually sending the wood to Straggler Tree to pay for these, which is interesting. And Redemption will be coming in soon.
Yes.
Arizona Ranger has not chatted a lot. Now, if I could be wrong on this because it's been a while. But I think when Arizona Ranger played well in Regicide Rumble 5, Arizona Ranger wasn't like mid-table of the elos there. I think Arizona Ranger might have been one of the higher elos. Not that the position isn't top tier, though. The position's still very good, 125 eco right now. And red says, are you allied with them? And purple said, no wives. So I think this is just purple reinforcing that there hasn't been a marriage to seal the deal. But Arizona also didn't give a villager.
Yes.
And yes, Arizona has not gaslit anybody yet. Yellow says to green, I'll have to turn you to neutral, so when you built them, leave with the vills so they don't hurt. And green says yes. So this is all part of the plan. We've got 12 stables there, and yellow's getting prepped to convert these. It's kind of funny green is getting upgrades in there. But I think yellow's about to convert these stables. So this is quite a way to seal a friendship here. Like, it would actually be epic, though, if yellow kills green with stable units. And here we go. So the Aztec monks are ready. And the stables are now going to be converted. This is very rare. But this is one way for the Aztecs to be able to have some cav, I guess. All right, we'll take a little bit of time. It would be hilarious if green researched heresy. But I don't think Georgians get that. And so color is changing. There's now only 5 green stables. And pretty soon it will be 0. And yellow says, my warriors will rise soon. Also, red said, I had a villager there. It probably got lost. And purple wants another villager to seal the deal. And the villager's going to be on the way. Still a couple stables there from green. They have to be converted yet. That'll happen soon. Georgians do get heresy, FYI. Oh, okay. Well, that would have been funny then. And here they are. Here's the Zelados. Teal says, Neff, I don't like purple. No more wonder victory next time. Ah, okay. But I think because purple... I forget if purple won with a wonder victory, honestly. Purple also has a relic walking through Gray's base. Gray's lowest ranked player and says, hey, purple, please leave relic. Purple immediately responds and says, where do I put it? And Gray's going to build a monastery. That's a very nice move from purple. You don't want to lose because you steal somebody's relic. Gray's going to appreciate that, and Gray says thank you. So yeah, this unit, the Zelotl, can only be created if Mayans, Incas, or Aztecs somehow gain a stable. 100 HP, it gets attack upgrades, but no armor, so they are actually really, really bad. But yeah, we'll see if they actually do anything. Red did put a villager into purple's castle and has sealed the friendship there. Also, blue has a castle here. Why does blue have a castle here? And yellow says to green, I serve you forever. Guys, can anyone survive if green, teal, and yellow decide to 3v5? I don't think so. I could be really wrong on that. Actually, red is going to be an insane talent. We talked about what he's done before. And Mamelukes are insanely good against the civs we just mentioned. Don't forget that Arizona Ranger won in Regicide Rumble 5, but... yeah, why do you make this Zelotls? Well, because people think it's unique and different, and because people are watching here. This is for the memes, right here. That's why you make the unit. Yellow says, at balance team, allow Garland Wars to affect Zelotl Warriors. Thank you. All right, let's remember this moment. I will pass that along to the balance team. Because it's just a little Easter egg, right? If you give them an extra +4 attack, it doesn't actually... It's not going to change anything. Russell, let's get green together, says Papa Viki. Dude, that's a crazy task. For 2 bottom scores. Russell is pretty well fortified. Now, guys, I need to point out, because everyone's probably like, why are they not regating this? You can't actually build there. So you're not able to build in those areas, which is not very clear when you're watching. So it kind of keeps the base open. Oh, also, Holy Fatoria is down here from the guy who created the Fatoria Wololo song. Blue says, Teal asked me to snipe you, Gray, just FYI. And that is what Teal actually did. That's not a lie. And poor Gray is 800 elo, but hey, $25 is $25. So, I mean, people like to have their honor codes and whatnot, but you could buy a little bit of salmon with 25 bucks. Go for it. Purple now says, Russell, I'm making show tells to snipe green. Help me. Now, Russell's been known to be a little bit of a snitchy snitch in the past, if it suited him. There's nothing wrong with that. I guess when I call someone a snitch, it does come off as negative, but Russell might not want to stand along purple here. It might be better to stand along green and gain some support for giving that info. But yeah, they're talking about getting green. This is going to explode pretty soon. Someone's going to make a move at some point. It's just like, who's the easiest target, right? Green says yellow and orange. I think we just take the other out and take 1 through 3 player strong together. 1 through 3 player. I think he's saying get like 1 to 3 players. I don't think he's saying get player 1 and get player 3 because he's player 3. Russell says, teaming with me is smart because I will throw in the top 3, more money for you. Okay. That's interesting. Teaming with me is smart because I will throw, he says. I hear you are with me in green. Oh, so this is Russell going over to yellow now. And now yellow's going to red. Says, do you trust orange? Arizona says, no, LMAO. His messages have been leaking. Him, green, and perp. That's true. Not a lie. That's true. So yellow's going to get this information. Russell's kind of in an odd spot. And all the show tells were coming in. The show tells were coming in for the snipe, and green noticed this. And now purple says, green, not for you. But also says this publicly. So, like, who is it for? And, I mean, I would say that, too. I would say it wasn't for him, but we know it was clearly for green. This was bottom score attacking top score here. 1,000 elo against 1,400. And green's going to fight back. This is our first true blood of the game. Green says, too bad. And then purple says, then die. Damn. Damn. Them fighting words. Okay. Well, the show tells actually cleared the Manaspa there, which is crazy. And we'll see who comes to green and purple's aid here. Russell, I have a prediction that Russell's not going to do crap. Russell's not going to help because he doesn't want to pick a side. He might have to, though. He would not have wanted fighting to be around his base this early. Purple says, let's ally back. It wasn't for you. Yellow plotting versus me. Ally. And green allies back. Interesting. So, I mean, obviously, that was for green. We know that. But it could be believed that purple's units were for yellow. And green says, I did. There's so much chat. There's so much military. There's so much eco. Yellow does have a lot of military. That military is where exactly? Oh. It is right next to Teal's base. And Teal's kind of sitting here blocking the opening with units. Teal might not exactly trust yellow sitting here, even though the units are not necessarily the strongest. Yes. Red's to start the game already like he wants to make a play. Blue responds with yes. Gray is involved in that conversation. So this might be a start the game already against somebody else. And red is here. They're going to go after Teal. They're going to go after Teal. Elite organ guns and elite Mamelukes. Teal will need yellow's help. And yellow can help with Zolotto warriors. Teal says, please don't. And I think it's a little too late. And green just said to purple, we will be friends for now. Obviously, green's got to support his team. Yellow's going to turn on blue and come support. And here come the Zolottos. Guys, I do not expect the Zolottos to accomplish much here. Against Mamelukes, they're going to get completely ripped. Against the organ guns, they're going to get completely ripped. But they're cool. But yeah, they're disappearing here. The Manaspa are in. The Rat Hunts. Now, these units are... It's a completely different story. Man, this has got very, very, very loud. And yellow's upset about the warriors. Well, that frees up pop space to make siege onagers now. And now gray is here in support as well. So it'll be ballistas, Mamelukes, and organ guns. And red says, you thought. And said you thought to somebody. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but I mean, Teal's going to die. Teal needs help. I would be pissed at yellow. I'd be like, send me actual units. Why are you sending me crappy Zolottos? I don't want Zolotto warrior support. I'd prefer moral support than Zolotto support. It almost feels like yellow is just kind of trolling his teammates by going for these. Obviously, I think yellow does it for the memes. But at what point are the memes, do the memes stop mattering? I know exactly what half my chat's going to say. Never. but this is war, okay? We've got $25 on the line. We've got placement prizes. The memes should be a little less valuable here. And Papa Viki says, Russell, I'll snipe Red. That would be crazy if it actually happens. Red is busy, though. And notice that Papa Viki's going for people that married her. Like, that's the funny thing. That's why I called her the... Well, I should be calling her the Black Widow. I called her the Purple Widow. Russell says, would you like help? And Purple says, we are married. Fear not, my love. Yeah, I don't know if I trust that. Russell says, I do not fear you. We are friends. I'll take you on a cruise. A cruise? All right. That's an interesting little offer. I think that's the first time I've heard that one in a community game. Yellow is supporting teal for now. And green is... Oh, God. Green has made a play. Green has made a play, and I think got the snipe. The king was actually back here, and green was lurking in the shadows and noticed it. We're going to go back. We're going to pretend I noticed that, but that was teal running away from their base. The king was out in the open, and green said $25 is $25. And that's the first snipe for OG Straggler Retreat. Could be one of many. And my prediction's out the window. I thought that teal, yellow, and green would fight together. But teal's the highest elo player, and they're the first to die. And honestly, I think teal was going to struggle anyways, because the main support was yellow's Zalata Warriors. So I suppose that works out. And OG Straggler Tree is, as I said, one of the OGs of community games, so he should know what's up. And, okay, red says now green. So he's telling his team that does not include purple right now. Now let's go for green. Purple says red. And red says what's up. And... I mean, what's up is your king is about to be killed by Shotel warriors, and now the king is waddling his way to the next castle, and red has to panic here. That's crazy that purple actually just said something there. But maybe it was a distraction technique, and purple's military is not where it needs to be right now. Purple's military is on the front. So king could still get sniped. King could still get sniped. The Shotels are there. Can she do it again? Can she do it again? No, she can't. But wait, the king is to go again. Oh! No way, dude! She does it! She snipes red. Red was second score, and I think one of the most dangerous civilizations. An Arizona Ranger, who was the Master Gaslighter in Regicide Rumble 5, is sniped. And, oh god, now green is turning on purple. It's obviously $25 there for purple as well. And I guess this is what red gets for not sending the marriage villager a little bit earlier. Damn. Okay, now Papa Viki says, green attacking me, no reason. Now, green is super top score right now. So, and green, they might be able to realize that green killed teal. So, green, this is precisely what I said in the Dark Age. I think green can be too strong for his own good sometimes. Green says, because 50 castles are near me, which is fair. And then purple says, I can delete ally back. This is now the second time these two have butted heads. And the second time that green will ally back. And we'll see if purple actually deletes them. I mean, this castle needs to be deleted. Because that's killing trade. Purple has to ally back too. And then purple says, flare the castles you want deleted. Okay. By the way, Russell is doing the trick. So you put your king in a tower, right? And then you build a castle. This is actually perfect because the tower has to be directly on the corner of the castle. And when the castle is constructed, you actually will not be able to see that the king is in there. Watch this. Wait for it. This meta started last Regicide Rumble, by the way. Ready? Boom. Look, you could barely see the flag. He's also playing very defensive because he has a villager in like every single castle here. So he's making it very difficult for people to know. Adam, forgive me. I beg. I enemies you by accident. I'm so sorry, says purple. Do you guys remember that? I don't remember that. And then blue is asking yellow to ally, which is a smart move, actually. And purple is offering to delete castles to multiple players. And yellow is pushing blue, but again, blue wants to be friends with yellow. And there goes a whole army of Zelatos to their death again. They are not a good unit. They're just not good. So green flares this one and flares this one, and they both are going to get deleted. I mean, respect to purple. Respect to purple, because you're like, okay, what issues do you have with me? It's the castles? Okay, I'll get rid of them. I think green's still really going to be on edge. When you're top scorer, you're not going to want to believe that someone's not going to try and snipe you, but... Gray says, we are kind of solo with both people beside us dead. And it says that to blue. I mean, that can be good or that can be bad. That can be good because you're not going to get sniped, but you also need more teammates. Like, I think they need one more person, potentially. Remember, you get paid for getting top 3, so... if they can hold on, they're going to get in the money. And also, biggest T90 fan in chat says T90 doesn't see me. I see you. I see you. I'm just a little bit busy. Welcome, welcome. Showtell Warriors seem to be sitting here like they're going to snipe somebody at some point. How is this going to play out? Let's look at stockpiles real quick. I need to see how much gold yellow's banking. Because yellow's losing a lot of gold units. Red was banking up a lot of res. Purple's got 17k golds. Gray's got 15k gold and lots of food. Wow, they're all doing pretty good. Yellow's the one with low gold count, and then there's also blue. Blue has Fatorias, which is not as good as trade in my opinion, but... Russell talks across the map, says, how are you doing over there? Blue says, not too well, could use some tragic allies. And Russell says, what would you like? I mean... yeah, he wants support. And we'll see if Russell can offer it. But Russell's on the other side of the map and would have to make a play against 2 really strong players. Green now will make a play against blue. This is starting to look pretty rough here for Adam. Russell, by the way, 3 military. So this is the Russell Regicide meta. You hope no one thinks you're a problem. You offer words of support, but you don't offer army until the later stages. Oh, God. Zelatos are moving in here. The king is not in there. That's a villager. And the Cav Archers and the Manaspa from green completely wipe blue. Blue needs a lot of help right now. And Gray really needs to help. Gray is lower elo, though, so I think for Gray, there's a little bit of explanation there. I think green has got a tough situation here because, like, purple just kind of gets to wait it out a little bit. Russell's clearly waiting it out, and green is bordering them. So green's probably really on edge that he's going to get sniped, and that's probably why he turned on people earlier. Green got one snipe, purple got another. I see purple here with some siege towers. And yellow still producing the Zelato warriors. Let's make this interesting, guys. If yellow snipes a king with a Zelato warrior, I will give 50 subs. That's pretty epic. There's no way, right? There's no way that's possible. Actually, I'm looking at blue's base right now, and I'm really concerned that I said that too high of a number. Adam says, Russell, yellow is focused on me if you want to try and backstab. Russell, still 3 military. I don't foresee that changing. And Russell says, where king? Russell's saying the right things. Blue researches treason to find out where those kings are. And the answer is that it's pretty obvious. It's this castle. It's the only one with the flag. Purple, still sitting in the siege towers, might make a play to snipe somebody at some point. And purple says, we need to take this king or we have finished. And remember, saying this to gray, blue, and then also Russell. But Russell... okay, deleting some eco now. So Russell might actually make some army. We'll see if he ever goes above 3. He's just gone down to 2! He went down in military! How did he go down from 3 to 2 when someone wants support? That's Russell's strat. That's Russell's strat. Everyone who's judging, you don't have $25 on the line for king kill. You don't have the top 3 placement prizes. Russell does. Yeah, Blue's in trouble. Why did I say 50 freaking subs? Why? Like, this is insane. He's struggling big time. Gray is not here. And Adams is going to die in 5. Like, Purple is going to try and help indirectly, I guess, by sniping. And Papaviki says, Russell and Gray, we need to finish them now. And now Russell asks, Blue, where are their kings? I snipe. Well, I thought I already signaled them. Russell does have 22 military now, so he is actually interested. OG Straggler Tree researching Treason to find out where Blue's king is. Remember, OG Straggler Tree already got a snipe. He's got cav archers around. He will be lurking for those. And Papaviki says, and this is pretty bold, but Papaviki says, I'll get greens. That is honestly the best way to help Blue right now. The best way to help Blue is kill yellow or kill green. Not to actually help with army. Gray is still not helping Adam whatsoever. And, oh god, the king is moving! And green was waiting for it. But the cav archers died right before. So green wanted that snipe and he didn't get it. Much to my disappointment, because now there's a lot of Zalata warriors around. But the king is going to run. Grace is coming to help you perp. Again, I think could be a difference in elo. Could also be that he has something else on his mind. And hold on a second. Russell has Mangadai walking through the middle of the map. They all seem to be having different intentions here. Adam's king is running. He says, I trust you. And, oh god, Purple is to be careful with the king. Capture Age saw Purple's king was out. Purple's moving. And Blue is moving. And Treason has been spammed a bunch of times by Green. It's also been spammed. But Russell sees it. Russell sees it. He says, I offer you my support. And he steals the king snipe from Green. Green's going to be pissed. Green is going to be pissed. But that's $25 in the pocket for Russell. Call him a coward all you'd like. He said he appreciated the songs from Blue. Damn. And now Russell has the audacity to say, oh no, what happened? Oh no, what happened? Where's Purple, by the way? Oh my god! Oh my god! Vroom, vroom! 5 full siege towers. Green says yellow. Watch out. And I think yellow sees this. And I mean, the siege towers are faster than everything here, and Treason is being researched again to find out where that king is. The king is moving now for yellow. The siege towers are kind of bumping into units here. And I don't think it's going to work here for Purple. It's a crazy play, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. That's actually a great response from yellow. Great teamwork from green, by the way. Green and yellow are definitely buddies. And we also see some Jags popping out now. And the show tells are not going to be enough. Russell says, I'm sorry, Blue frowny face. He says that for us. And hey, maybe Russell genuinely feels bad about it, but he's going to be wiping his tears with the $25 for now. And Adam in chat says, I will not forgive Russell. Okay, dude. Okay. All right. Well, you don't have to forgive him. It's a two-way street, I suppose. So, Yellow says, I guess we kill Purple. That was my next point, is like, Purple has now tried to kill Green once, and Purple has now tried to kill Yellow. I really think they've got to make a move on Purple. And Russell is not going to want to defend Purple or defend Green. Russell's going to want to, like, swoop in, I think, and take the snipes. I could be wrong, but now he says, what do you think we should do next? And now Gray is in a sneaky position. Now, Gray hasn't really chatted much, but Gray should probably not fight anybody and just hold on. Too late, I guess, because Gray moved to the middle of the map, and now Green notices it. Man, Straggler, we sometimes see people not be ready. Straggler Tree is alert. He saw the siege towers coming for yellow. He saw Purple earlier at his base. He sees these, like... Straggler Tree is my favorite for this game because he reacts right away. Yeah, I agree. Purple is way too dangerous to keep around. And we'll see if that happens. And Russell says, where is Gray's king? Khmer too dangerous. I also feel like Russell is kind of too... I don't know if I would want to keep him around either. Because it just feels like Russell hasn't directly helped Green in any fights. Russell's score is really high, which is probably because his resources are insane. And he has a lot of castles. And Russell's Mongols, it's going to be hard. So maybe you take purple first, and then you plan on taking Russell later if you're green and yellow. Grace is green and yellow teaming. And now purple says, Russell, you got to help or we are screwed. And Russell says, where? Yeah, this is a good point from purple. Like, Russell actually has to partake in the battles with purple for them to have a chance. And gray, obviously. So I guess we'll see. Papa Viki says, go for it. I'll help you. Until I am proven wrong, I really just don't think that Russell is actually going to make a big play on a player. It may happen. He's got the tools for it with the Siege Onagers and the Mangudai. But I think Russell's still thinking that you just buy time and you wait for others to die off. Gray might die soon. Yellow's moving in here. And Papa Viki says, Green, I'll help you. But he doesn't say this to Green. Says this to Russell and to Gray. That is a mistake. And Gray says, need help. And then purple says, Russell, I'll always let my wives win. Always. All right. Well, didn't you kill red? I don't know if always is accurate. But we'll see. Gray's having a tough time here, guys. Like, has the resources, but really needs to make elephants instead of cavalier. And yellow's going to be coming in from the other side. Wouldn't surprise me if yellow converts to Vatoria, by the way. And Russell says, we go green. Attack away from the king. Diversion. Attack here. Now, I don't mind that if there's a diversion. Where's Russell's army? It's come right back into this circle of castles. Look at all the fakes around. There's 40 showtells. Say what you want about purple, but purple freaking goes for it, man. There's more showtells waiting to go snipe. And Russell sends some resources to purple. It's wild to me that yellow has actually made more Zalata warriors than any other unit right now. Purple says, when you start moving troops, yes. Russell says, moving, you have to first. Otherwise, he looks here. Russell, this is your last chance, by the way. If you don't actually do something here, purple's going to kill you. Here we go. And green notices immediately. Green notices immediately. Dude, he is so alert. He is so aware every single time. It's immediate reaction every time. And he should be okay here. Showtells do a lot of damage, but they die to castles. They die to cav archers. The king will not be sniped. Purple is trying. This would be Russell's time to make a move. Russell, okay, Russell's here. And Russell is... Let's see what he does. He says to green, coming to help. You are a little rat. You are a little rat. I can't tell if he's actually trying to just earn green's trust or if he's actually going to try and kill him. It would be crazy if Russell had the guts to go for this. He says, coming to help. Nah, Straggler Tree is turning on him. Straggler Tree is definitely turning on him. He's not going to believe this. Oh, Russell! Russell with the place! Russell's actually doing it! I didn't think he'd have the guts to do it. His siege onagers are boxed out, though. The king is... Where is the king? The king is over here. And, yeah, it won't work. Damn, Russell actually went for it. Look at green come in with showtells as well. Just flying with showtells. But OG Straggler Tree mops it all up. And we've got a freaking battle now, folks. We also had trade up in the north. All the trade for Russell is sacrificed. So that was costly for him to try. And that means gray is fighting a 1v1 against yellow. So gray might actually hold on for a while here. Yellow might need to back up and stop attacking gray, and then move in with green against purple and orange. Honestly, salutes in chat for Russell, because I didn't expect him to actually have the guts to go for it. Sorry, Russell. He does say, classic tragedy of Russell. It was a good attempt. It was a really... that's how you want to do it. You want to say you're coming to help. Unfortunately, the siege onagers just stopped there. I think having to manage the chat and the alliances all at once is really difficult. And now Russell says ally. Now, green has allied purple a bunch. So green has shown that he's okay with doing this. And he says yes. Man, that's interesting. Very interesting that that continues to happen. Where someone will try and kill you, and then he allies right back. And Russell says, peace, I tribute wood. And then yellow says, I leave you alone. And he's going to leave gray B. Nice fight back from gray. I mean, it's 860 elo versus 1500. So you wouldn't expect that gray would have been able to hold there. I'm going to tell you why green does this. Because if you accept this alliance, you can then see what the other guy's doing again. And, oh god, here comes yellow. But I think green is just going to try and kill Russell now. So he can look at everything and then try and get the kill. Freaking yellow, man, with these a lot of warriors. You put money on the line so people take it seriously, and some people even meme harder. That's a lot of trebs. Gray says we need to snip. And purple says, I don't think we can. They are so alert. That is true. That is very true. Russell trying to chat his way out of this. He asks yellow to ally. Yellow says, you attacked, my lord. Or is he saying that green is his lord, I guess? I guess that's it. I guess he doesn't know green is allied him. Straggler Tree is going to kill Russell. Or he's going to try to. That's what's happening next. Green just isn't... He hasn't quite flipped the switch yet. Purple's going to try and chat it out. Says, green, we've had our differences. Obviously, I tried to kill you a lot. Let's just state the obvious here. He says, look at score, green. Is he going to say something about Russell now? He says, I need a bit of diversion to get yellow. That's all. Ooh. Ooh. That is an interesting move. We'll see if green takes the deal. Because yellow's kind of like half trolling right now. Like, if he actually stopped making these Zelatos, it would be stronger. One last chance, green. You were my first bride. I also don't think that's true. Green says yes, but says that to everyone. And purple allies green. Sometimes I think Straggler Tree just responds, and then so he could focus on his next thing. I don't think he thinks about it as much as others. And now purple says, where is his king, green? Remember, purple's not going to have awareness on this. Purple won't have vision on it. It is in that castle, but purple doesn't know. The Straggler Tree says to Russell, yellow is attacking you. And, oh god, he now turns. He now turns. He now turns as Russell's responding to him. So Russell is in the chat window right now. And Russell has to react at a really awkward time. Russell's going to lose his ball of siege onagers. The trebs are over here. And the king is somewhere out there. The cav archers are waiting. OG Straggler Tree wants his revenge. The king, though, it's hard to know. Because it's in the tower, actually, that's behind there. But does he see it still? Does he? Because he has to task the trebs onto that. He definitely clicks them now, right? He will click them now. The king! The king! Russell is dead! OG Straggler Tree gets his revenge. He kills Russell. And Russell kind of pays the price for trying to snipe green earlier. Oh, man, that was sick, though, from OG Straggler Tree. And well played. And now that's 2 snipes for green. He's top score. He could very much be the winner. That was clean, clean, clean. And you know what he did, guys? Stand ground next to the building where the king is. You don't click the building where with the units. You do that with the trebs. And cav archers. Not melee units. Not show tells. But now green is really, really dangerous. Like, really dangerous. And I think yellow might make a deal. Oh! Purple is here! Purple is here! Where is the king? Where is the king? Dude, purple is actually chatting up yellow while trying to kill him. Look at the timing here. He really tried to distract yellow. It does not work out. The show tells fail again. Purple's crazy with the sniping timings, I have to say. Also, is this green being sneaky? Is Straggler Tree thinking about... This doesn't feel like Cav Archers that are here to help. This feels like Cav Archers that are here to clean up the scraps if that king would have been exposed. I don't know about that. Let's see if Straggler Tree is going to go for it. It wouldn't be a bad play because everyone could be talking about how to 3v1 him right now. Purple says, I failed you, my first love. I've betrayed you. I'm a monster. Forgive me. Okay. Interesting. Tree is screwing up his chat settings here. For as good as he's been with the gameplay, the chat settings has been a little bit off compared to others. But he just says sorry to Russell. So maybe he is actually trying to apologize to Russell in the afterlife. And green wisely moves the Cav Archers out of yellow's base. Papa Viki says, Gray, we are the underdogs. We need to scrape to survive. Yeah, Gray, but Gray is just chilling here really far away from everyone. And Gray could get at least 25 bucks for being third place. You also can win with Relic or Wonder Victory. And here's the stockpiles now. Everyone's pretty rich except for yellow. I am shocked that the person spamming Zalato Warriors is low on gold. Just want to say that. That's shocking. Because here I was thinking the person who would just spam a really expensive meme unit and would lose 1,000 of them. Here I thought that guy was going to be rich. Crazy. Gray trying to talk his way out of it. He says, remember my relic of goodwill. On that same goodwill, I promise no backstab. Okay. Gray says, let's get top 3 at least. And Purple says, if we make it to the end, fair 1 versus 1 exactly. Let's do this, Gray. Well, the problem is there's 4 people left. If they're going to be a team of 2, yellow and green are going to be a team of 2. And I would kind of put my money on yellow and green. Now, again, the military choice for yellow is kind of an issue. And green's going to... No way he's doing that. No way he's actually doing that. He's going to drop a wonder. Okay, so... Again, you got to think about it from green's perspective. You're super top score. People have been trying to kill you all game. He might already feel like they're going to scheme against him. But it seems as though yellow is actually supporting him. And now he's going for the wonder because he thinks everyone's going to be against him. And this could unite everyone against him if that wasn't already going to be the case. And green actually turns on everyone. This is his last stand. I don't know if it's a good idea. But he figures now or never, he turns on everyone right here. Doesn't even chat. And yellow says, dude. Like, yellow can hardly believe it. OG Straggler Tree could... He could lose the game because of this, but obviously he could take first. It's first or fourth right now, it feels like. Because yellow wasn't going to accept the deal from purple, and now yellow accepts the deal. It will be everybody versus Straggler Tree. Now, if someone wins with a Wonder Victory in Regicide Rumble, the second and third place is determined by the score of the players remaining. So actually, if the game were to end right now, it would be green with the Wonder, right? Based on the scores, it would be green first, yellow second, and then gray third, and purple would be out of the top 3. But can green actually do this? He's got some trades still running. But that should not run anymore. Yellow just needs to build 1 castle there, and the trade all goes down. Yellow still seems a little confused by this. Like, he almost can't believe it. And the king is in the north for green. So he's got his wonder near his king, which is smart. I don't think green can hold 350 years. Now, gray's really not an issue. Gray's pretty far away, but... maybe he can hold, actually. I don't know. Anyways, yellow says death to the wonder. But yellow, you've got to kill the trade. And yeah, there is a castle there sniping the trade. So all the trade for green will eventually die. And there's the wonder. So, chat, do you think this is a throw from green, or do you think this is the right play? I think it's... based on what we know, yellow is actually going to be a friend. At least for a little while. Maybe it's a little bit of a throw, but, like, green has been... Someone has tried to kill green every single step of the way. He's super top scorer. He's been very protective of his lead. I could fully understand the feeling. I think it's not a throw from his perspective. And hey, if he wins it, he's going to say, screw you guys. I'm doing this thing. Also, there's his resources, but how much does he actually have in queue? He has like 15 Manaspa queued out of every castle. So he does actually he is sitting on thousands of resources. It just says he has no gold because his buildings are all queued up with Manaspa. But he'll start to lose ground 330 years. Gray. Why is Gray here? Oh, Gray's still enemied with yellow. But I was going to say, Gray could kind of do something sneaky here. Gray really wants top 3. But I'm not seeing a ton of movement from Gray at the moment. And I'm not seeing a ton of move from purple either. And I don't know, like, Showtells seem to kill Manaspa, but against the castles, I'm not so sure. But certainly fun to think about. I think green could do this, guys. Purple says, hey, green, do me a favor. Where's Gray's king? No way. No way. That'd be so funny. And we're actually at a critical point for purple. Purple's unlikely to win. But if purple can snipe 2 kings, purple might make the king snipe final. So, yeah, I mean, that's a big deal, obviously. You get to play another game. You got more money on the line. And I think green signaled it. And by the way, the king is actually in a tower as well. There from Gray. So Gray's done the tower trick. Was there a signal, guys? Now chat's spamming blinds. I was distracted. Why are you saying blinds? I'm getting really stressed. Gray attacked yellow's king. Oh, okay. So he was here for a second. Well, he barely did any damage. I'm sorry. It looks like the elephant was converted. My bad. My bad. Green's fighting back against purple's castles here. I'm waiting to see if purple's going to make a move with Showtells towards Gray. But you know what's not happening? There's not a ton of progress being made on getting to Green's Wonder. There were some ranges taken out, and there was a castle or 2 taken out. But these trebs are going to be cleared. Yellow needs more military than this. Oh, God. Oh, God. 127 Showtell warriors. Honestly, they could take the Wonder. You have a better chance of taking the Wonder than the king. But purple wants that king. Would be a hell of a snipe. Would be a hell of a snipe to do this. 130 military units sacrificed for a chance of killing 1 king. In my experience, though, I think the king can just hop to the next castle. This gets close. This gets close. This gets close. But how can the Showtells actually kill the king? Where is it? Oh! 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 Papa Viki got it! The Wonder is destroyed! The Purple Widow does it again! I can't believe that, dude! That's crazy commitment! Crazy commitment! The king could not eject. Green says pathing rip. And now green is killed. Damn. It says Gray, yellow now. Let's finish these traders. And that's all Gray needed to hear. Now, hold up a second. Hold up a second. Do we think that purple is going to move on yellow with Gray? Or do we think that purple is going to use the information that green gave her to move on Gray's king? Yellow says we cannot let Khmer win again. Yes, Khmer won the first 2 games. Purple says, yellow, I'm not sure what to do here, my friend. If I do turn versus you, I'm sorry, GG, well played. Okay, that's interesting. Yellow says, have you tried killing Gray? And purple says, I will consult my dead wives and decide. And says, I could kill him. Well, yellow's the bigger threat. Probably. So, I think if I'm purple, I work 2v1 versus yellow, and then I kill Gray, and then I win. He says, I could kill him, but then yellow, you will kill me. Where is the fun in that? That's very true. Yellow says, I am the worst Civ. Okay, that's a fair argument. And purple says I'm a worse player. Also a fair argument. Yellow is 1,500. The others are 1,100 and 800 elo. Guys, we rigged purple in because of their performances in 2 separate community games over the last couple months. And I don't regret it. Very good Diplo player. Also, Straggler Tree fantastically played. Might regret the wonder now. But purple is genuinely talented. And I tried to even do an intro and say, like, everyone should look out for the people we rig, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, Arizona Ranger was killed off. But Arizona Ranger, the other person who was rigged in, was killed by purple. Before Arizona Ranger could become a problem. Yeah, OG Straggler Tree, you're really gonna hate mule carts, I think, for a while. That was a bit brutal. I thought you were gonna eject the king into this castle. I think if the king is ejected into this castle, it might survive. But let's see. I think Gray is gonna make a move on yellow. Well, yellow's trying. It looks like Gray was trying to be sneaky over here, and yellow's noticed this. And yes, this is what yellow should do. Says Gray, purple can counter you. We should ally against her. This is what yellow needs to do. And here's stockpiles again. Gray, guys, what if Gray gets first? No one thinks the 800 elo player who's never played a game before in community games is going to have a chance. He's sitting on 27k gold. 27k gold and 73k food. And these other two, they're only worried about each other. They're not worried about Gray. Purple says, Gray, I'll spam Arbalest and Rams. I mean, if Gray wins, that's 3 games where Kimura's won this Regicide Rumble, which is crazy. I don't know if Kimura's on the ban list for the next game. I think it'd be really fun to see purple again in some capacity. And yellow again in some capacity. But yellow would have to snipe 2 kings probably to get to the king snipe final. Well, yellow has to get first, of course. Green we might see in the snipers final. Gray is definitely, like... Gray not chatting a lot and Gray being lower elo has definitely benefited them this game. And it actually helped him that red died super early and blue. So he's had no, like, issues with neighbors. Oh my god! Gray converted blue's Fatorius! I was wondering if yellow was going to do that. Gray actually converted 2 of those Fatorius. So he has the Fatorius for himself right now. So that's why he's big chilling with those resources. Damn. If I know purple's like building up for a Shotel snipe. Actually, I'm very wrong on that. Only has 52 military. Is building up a lot of production buildings to win the 1v1. Damn. Gray's not gonna kill yellow on his own. That's just not happening. Gray's also not responding to yellow or to purple. I think they're very, very overwhelmed at the moment. You have my word. You are safe until he is dead, says purple. And now yellow goes to Gray and says, Gray, question mark. Gray, you got to respond to these people here, my friend. Purple says, yellow, may the best man win or woman, winky face. And Gray says, let's take out yellow. All right, so Gray at least responds to someone. Obviously has had no ill will towards purple the entire game. I should also remind you when it comes to res that these trade workshops still do bring you resources. So that, like, having control of those, and everyone in the game has some of them, still tick up your res. Gray has tried to build forward bases, I've noticed, with stables and castles, and that all got spotted by yellow. And yellow is actually importantly trading this direction, down next to Gray's Fatorius. I don't know if Gray is going to notice that, but you need to build a castle in the trade route, realistically. And purple and yellow turn on each other. And the fighting's about to begin. So purple is sneaky the whole game. Now we're about to see 1v1. And purple says, GG, good luck. And we got Ethiopian bombard cannons on the way. We got ARBs now. And occasionally Gray's going to attack with stuff. And yellow says things can still change. And I just think yellow's going to try and talk his way out of this, but Gray's not answering. Also, purple must have deleted a lot of farmers or lumberjacks or something because purple went from no military to all the military. Yellow has tried to speak to gray like 3 times. No one's answering. Oh, man. Bombard cannons are on the way. We've got an army of 60 ARBs, which is the max you can control in one control group, and then 16 bombard cannons. What is Yellow's plan? Gray finally responds to Yellow. And true to his name, says, looking to incinerate you. Yeah, let's go. Them fighting words, Gray. Let's go. I was wondering when there was going to be fighting words. Incinerate your butt, more accurately. He says, chat sucks. Okay, he does not like the chatting. I don't think he's saying Twitch chat sucks. I think he's just saying he hates to chat. And that's what everyone, when they play their first couple games, always comes back saying. So you don't realize. Uh-oh, okay. Bombard cannons will melt the siege workshops. And pikeman's not it. I was questioning Aztecs a little bit. Like, you can make... Eagles would be really good against this. A lot of Eagle Warriors would be fantastic. But we haven't even seen barracks from Yellow. Like, now we're seeing barracks? And he doesn't even have elite Eagle Warrior. Like, this is just a little late. And doesn't have a lot of gold either. Yeah, just horrible for Yellow. I think Yellow's cooked. This would be a time for Gray and Purple to really keep a close look on their own kings. Because they do not want to get sniped while they're making progress on Yellow. And Purple says to Yellow, Gray, you gotta push. So again, chat messages are hard. Oh, man. This is why you don't let your memes be dreams or your dreams be memes, guys. This is just now completing the Elite Eagle upgrade after spending so much gold on Zolotls is painful. As of now, Yellow has earned $0 with King Snipes, but is top 3, so we'll get 25. And those Eagles are fully upgraded, but is that enough of them? Oh god, we got Siege Onagers coming in from the other side, though. We got Trebs here in defense. There will still be some random attacks from Gray. It's very random. I see a petard. Micro is going to be needed here. I'm in agreement with some chatters. Purple definitely feels like someone who's maybe a little bit better than what the elo shows at the bottom. Maybe plays a lot of team games or custom games. You could tell the team game experience is there. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, knows how to split. Kills one Siege Onager. And Yellow panicking right now. Gray's still out there, attacking occasionally. Purple losing some Arbalest to the Siege Onager. Now needs to protect the Bombard Cannons from the Eagles and the Pikemen. This could fall off very quickly here for Purple. And Gray is randomly killing Yellow's trade with random Hussars too, so it is not great in the trade department for Yellow. And last I checked, Yellow has like no gold. Yeah, like 20 on gold, which is some kind of crappy trade. Russell's still in the game. And he says, I'm thinking about retiring, guys. Always tragedy of Russell, no legend of Russell. Sad face. Russell, for people to be a hero, there has to be a villain. And for there to be legends, there has to be tragedy. So just because you are not the legend doesn't mean you don't add value to these games, my friend. It was so close to killing Green. He actually made the play. I didn't think he was going to make the play against Green. So I give him some respect that he did. Yellow's going to die, guys. Yellow's going to die. He won't be able to defend from this. There's too many ballistas. There's too many Arbalest. And I don't think it's that easy for Yellow to get a snipe going. He is in Teal's castle down here. But Yellow has basically nothing. And he's tried everything. He tried to chat. And Gray said he was going to incinerate him. But Gray has not gotten a king kill this game, guys. Gray would want that. And just research Treason to find out where it is. Now, it's always confusing when it shows up in another person's castle. But it will show you this building. And yeah, there the king is moving. You could tell Gray was double checking there. Gray could eject the king if Gray was allied with Teal. A lot has happened this game, but I think they were still allied. So hiding in Teal's castles is not a great play. And there is the king. And, I mean, you can only... Yeah, you can also delete. Gray is up to something. Gray knows. You can also delete a dead ally's buildings. There is nowhere to hide here for yellow. And this should be Gray's snipe. There's no way you escape that. And Gray gets a snipe. Well played. Yellow gets third place, so there is a payout for that. Gray is now at least second. And now we have a 1v1. Papa Vicky just says, all right, Gray, good luck. And, well, I mean, it is an interesting scenario because based on skill, I would have definitely picked purple. But look at the resources for Gray. What the? Did Gray delete those? He deleted them. He deleted them so he could have production at home, I think, because here comes purple. Like, purple's prepared. He needs military units here right now. At least that's what I'm assuming. He needs to spam his units right now. He needs a lot of army here. Purple's making a move. I don't know if that's enough for purple. There's not enough siege to take down the buildings anyway. Gray, did you enemy? Oh, God, Gray. No, enemy, 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 enemy. No, Gray, you forgot the enemy. Gray, you forgot the enemy. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. You haven't turned yet. Your units are not bugged. You cannot blame Nilly for this. And purple even says enemy me. Purple even telling him enemy me. Diplo enemy me. And Gray does it. Oh, my God. Gray laughs. Gray's almost dead. Survive, please. Oh, honestly, props to purple. I have a lot of respect for purple for saying that there. I don't think that's a flex. I just think purple's like, I don't want to win like this. And I mean, I've seen people make that mistake before, so that would have been disastrous. The trade now for Gray will go down, but so will the bombard cannons for purple. So expensive losses. Gray's still sitting on 30k gold. Now, can they trade anywhere? I think purple and Gray were both trading in the same area. Oh, purple has the workshops. I'm trying to think about potential to trade to corners. It's going to be tough for purple to do that. But allies red for the time being. I guess so they don't attack red Mamelukes. This might be like kind of like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, because purple has what I would consider to be slightly higher skill, but worse civ and worse resources. And then Gray, slightly lower skill, but has the resources and the civ. Gray also has... Wait, what? I thought there were Fatorias here. Did yellow try and convert those at one point, and then maybe Gray had heresy? The Fatorias are gone. I'm not sure how that happened. But the Fatorias are no longer, which means purple's got trade post, trade post, trade post, trade post. So that's gold income right there. And Gray just researched treason. And we'll know about the king being there. Which you actually could ballista elephant chop through the trees to get in there. Oh, there's still a Russell villager in that castle. That's cute. Yeah, it's also very possible Gray deleted that. Yeah, that's a good point, chat. Gray probably needed pop space and deleted the Fatorias. Gray did a couple really big things that were well played. The deleting of his military over here when it got really dangerous was actually smart. And deleting the Fatorias too. And here are the ballistas now. But the ballistas could struggle against the bombard cannons. He's going to need an answer to the bombard cannons, and that will need to be more cavalier. And you can tell purple, just look at the production buildings from purple, like they're all ready to produce. Purple's going to be making plays, and Gray is on the move. So most likely, it's not confirmed, but most likely, even if Gray wins this game, we will see Papa Vicky in the Snipers final. But I think, considering the betrayals and the alliances and the sniping attempts, it would be really interesting to have purple in the grand final as well. And purple actually says to us, trying to hold on to the trade workshops. Yeah. Zolotls in chat says Gray deleted the Fatoria before I tried to convert them. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure on the timing there. You could go for a Wonder, but it takes so much time, and they're in the midst of so much battle. That feels kind of tough. Gray will dive with the Cav to kill the Bombard Cannons. Bombard Cannons are exposed, but the benefit of having 20 Bombard Cannons is you're still probably going to survive with some. Oh god, maybe not. I think Purple clicked the Ballista Elephants, and the units moved back? Or no, it looks like clicked the castle, and the units pathed weirdly there. Gray's going to clear this, potentially. Yeah, I would love to see Gray, if you have the resources, make Battle Elephants instead of Cavalier, but maybe Gray likes the mobility. Units running this way. Ooh, the King moved. The King moved, and so Purple spotted that with Treason. Okay. You could tell Gray definitely notices that's happening right now. You can't wall next to the walls, so Gray's going to try and quick wall this. Damn! Damn! Nice archer ranges to block. King is in a tower again, which is behind the castle. Gray will be fine here. But Gray, look at what Gray did, though. He pulled off... Well, he's still doing fine, but he just pulled everything back in a panic. Resources again for Gray, 18k gold. But, I mean, Purple's resources are climbing pretty nicely. It might be a relic or two, but that's the trade workshops, which is unique to this map. And I assume Gray probably is not thinking about that now. Uncle Jazzy, thank you for the 4 months. Thank you, Century, for the 34 months. I'm actually Tem. Thank you for the 66 months. We had Vespar. We had Lopo. Xtil. TS Crow. Elevit. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a great game. We might be very far from the conclusion of it. And then we'll have one more community game after this. And obviously, for those on YouTube, you'll get that next game like tomorrow-ish. And then the pro games start, which I'll talk about all that. But I just think it'd be super fun to have a player like maybe Purple. Even Gray, like mixed in with pros. Imagine them with like Doubt in a final. I'm not sure Doubt is the favorite for the final in his game. He might have a big target on his back, but it's so fun to combine the community winners with the pro winners. Like, does Gray have it in him to actually snipe that King? Or is Gray just going to defend until Purple runs out of res? I saw Gray had petards randomly producing. I don't know where. Oh! No freaking way, dude. No freaking way. Incinerate your butt. 860 elo. About to make a play for the King, which is in that castle. Now, it's not enough to take down the castle. You need 3 petards for a fortified wall. But he could get through the fortified walls. And look at that. Purple's heard the attack notification. Immediately noticed that. And Purple's on the move. That's just great play from both of them. And honestly, Purple needs to be in the base anyways. It's a little bit safer with more castles. And Gray chasing that down, and Gray won't see it. If you're wondering why Gray knew the King was running, it's because of being allied with Red still and the vision from that mining camp. That's really nice play from both. And look, Gray, dude, Gray's looking for it. But wait, Purple, don't go into Blue's castle. Don't go into Blue's castle. Go into your own castle. Go into a castle you can control. Because even if someone attacks Blue's castle now, you don't get an attack notification for that. Because that's not your own. Purple down here. There's also a yellow Bombard Cannon, which is interesting. So Purple starting to surround Gray a little bit. King has moved into this castle, so now it's safe. And then Purple clearly trying to mount a push here, and Gray is going to run for that King again. And I don't know exactly. I think Purple's complaining about... He's complaining about this, like the random smoke monkeys that are on the map. I have no clue why, but Gray's making a run for this. Here goes Gray. Gray knows the King is in there. And OG Straggler Tree is using this opportunity to promote Masters of Hyper Random. That's funny. There's just no way, right? There's not enough petards. I guess if you take down a piece of wall, you can get your whole army in there. Right? Okay. Go for it, Gray. Go for it. You're in. The king is in there. Purple's making a push. Purple is going to kill Gray. Gray, this is your last chance. Get your army in there. Gray's noticed now. You've made it in. Now, will your units fit in there? It's very cramped. You have to somehow click them behind first, which is really tough to do. The thing is, purple can't easily escape here because the walls. Purple would have to delete walls to escape. This could actually work. Meanwhile, purple is mowing down Gray's base, and Gray is hoping to hold on. Okay, purple just deleted a hole on that side to go into blue's castle. It is now in blue's castle. And I don't know if Gray will notice that. The king actually hopped out again. The castle's been deleted! The castle's been deleted! And the king is stuck! The king is stuck! Gray is a legend! Gray is a legend! Purple needs to get inside! Oh, it's inside! Are you kidding me? Purple, you better kill Gray fast or get some army there or you're going to die to an 800 elo player. I didn't think Gray had it in him. There's one more chance here for purple, I think. Look at Gray, wait. His heart has never beat so fast. You can go back to the castle, to the right. You can go back to the castle. There goes the king. Quick walls for purple to try and block the cavalier. The king is escaping. And that other castle is still over there. But there was one cavalier, two cavaliers stuck and waiting. And I don't know. Does purple see that? Does Gray see that? Gray, notice it. Notice it. Notice it. Notice it. Notice it. No way. No way. Purple's going to get back to a castle. Are you kidding me? So close, dude. So close there. Oh, my heart. Gray obviously still in this game, could still get the kill. Purple's got to be focused on defense now. Oh my goodness. Damn. Well, the show tells will clear that. Purple's push will continue, but Gray's got an omega army again. Purple only has 1,000 gold. Gray's got 9k. However, purple does have the trade posts. So you kill this army a couple times, then maybe you're fine. But how are you supposed to stop the Khmer, man? Ballista Elephant's overpowered. Hussars in the front is also perfect. And purple's army will be completely mopped up. You can also see the rally point was set forward, so a lot of units are going to get wasted. But again, guys, I really didn't think Gray could do this. Gray has gotten so close. It's actually so sick to go for the snipes. I just wonder, like, can Gray continue to do this, though? Because look at the gold counts right now. Notice it's going up for purple because purple has 5 trade carts, which I think I just caught a glimpse of. I don't know where they were. We could probably find them. So I think purple's got that, but purple's got all the trade posts. And that will bring you resources infinitely. Here comes Gray. Whew. What a game. What a freaking game. I think Gray was allied with blue, right? I think Gray was allied with blue, which is why the castle was deleted. It's hard to see once players are dead, but they were allied. Like, blue was not really helping actively at the time of... Gray was not really helping actively, but yeah. Big armies for Gray. And he's just going to send it. And purple needs to, like, re-wall up, which has happened. And purple needs to pay very close attention. Purple can see the army moving. And purple's leaving now. And purple has to leave again. Honestly, putting one unit inside that castle would be a pretty big play. Because if you keep the unit there, like a villager, they're going to think the king's there. It gives purple time to escape. Time to get to another castle. This castle is honestly fine as long as Gray didn't show up with petards like a god. The petards were a play. And Gray... Oh, man. Does Gray notice that? Does Gray notice that? I think Gray noticed that. And Gray researches treason again and sees the king on the move again and refuses to give up trying to hunt this king down. Also, it feels like one of their PCs is lagging. Like the units, the Cavalier and the Kings just kind of got stuttery there before. And, okay, King's still moving. Gray's still chasing. They're treason again. Dude, he's spamming treason like an experienced veteran here. Okay, sees the King is moving more. Wait, Red. What if Red gets the snipe? What if Red gets the snipe? Is Red not enemy to Purple? You got to be careful here, Purple. I actually forget. It's been so long. King is still running. It's running like where there's no castle, though. So this could be the end for Purple. And now Purple is making a dive for Gray. It is now or never for Papa Vicky. Who will win this? The King for Gray is in a tower behind the castle. The King for Purple is on the move, and there is a Hussar behind it. It's still in a tower. It is still in that tower. You can see the flag right there. That is where it is. This is where Purple is. This is where Gray is. This is where Purple is. This is where Gray is. Is Gray gonna do it? Who did it? Gray did it. Gray actually did it. Where is the King for Gray? Where is the King? What? It's on 31 HP. That was a photo finish. That was crazy, dude. And Gray, 860 elo, will be in the final. Ends up getting 2 snipes in the end. And so what is that, $150? Damn. Incinerated your butt indeed. That was crazy. That was a crazy, crazy finish. I gotta say, Gray, your ability to really stay focused on that King was legendary here. I think in that attempt alone, we had like 3,000 gold spent on researching treason just to keep an eye on the King. You just don't see players do that frequently, so well played. Purple, also a fantastic game. I'm a little bummed that Purple's diplomacy won't be seen in the main final because Purple obviously loses this game, but very possible that we will see Papa Vicky in the Snipers final because Papa Vicky got 2 King snipes. And actually remember that because Green also got 2 King snipes. So it's possible both of them are in the Snipers final together, and they might remember that. But I said, coming into Regicide Rumble, right? Anyone's able to enter. Many of the people who got selected were people who have been in before, and they weren't able to get the job done and incinerate your butt. To my knowledge, first time they've ever played, and lowest elo player in the game actually won the game. That was very impressive. So, well played. I hope I followed the King there at the tail end in a proper way, guys. It was kind of tough to do. We almost needed like picture-in-picture, but damn. What a game. Here's the KD. Now, obviously, a very crazy game for OG Straggler Tree, who tried to win it with the Wonder, and it wasn't enough. 1,100 units killed was the highest. We also had Yellow, surprisingly, killing 924. There was a lot of... Well, I guess there were a lot of Siege Onagers and Pikemen and Monks. Maybe I'm disrespecting these Allotals. Purple also 905 kills was impressive. Gray with 885 kills, so Gray was certainly active. The trade value was important for everybody here, but it really just felt like Gray kind of benefited from not being disruptive. Like a lot of people saying they were going to help, they didn't help. Some people were going for snipes all the time. Gray just kind of stuck to their task and just kept focusing on what felt right in the moment. So impressive, though. I mean, Yellow was one of the top players in the game. Yellow got sniped by Gray. And then Purple, one of the top players in the game, and Gray won the 1v1. So, sick. Beautiful game. That's why we like Regicide. That's why we like Regicide Rumble. And so now, we have an interesting little situation here, guys, because we have a poll that we can go to, okay? So we're awarding $25 per King Snipe. We're also awarding for top 3 finishes. But we are also awarding to the chat's favorite player. This can be for any reason. You don't even have to explain the reason. But we have a new poll system. Now, this should pop up here in a second, and then we've got the memes. So we've got a lot of stuff to dive into to finish this. I don't know if we have a poll ready. It looks like we do. I believe you just type the number associated with the players there, it looks like their names are cut off. So apologies there. 8 is the tragedy of Russell. It's actually all associated with their player colors in-game. So your favorite player, the player that you would like to give a bonus, you can now vote for. And players, if you played, honestly, go ahead and vote for yourself. I don't care. Go ahead and give it a shot. But right now, it's looking like Papa Vicky getting most of the votes. Now, you can change this too. You can only vote one time, but the system will actually register if you change your vote. So keep that in mind, but we got 45 seconds till we get it. It seems pretty landslide victory right now. It feels like purple getting most of the love. Again, a little bit bummed. A little bit bummed. That's not guaranteed that we see purple on the final day. But I think it's pretty damn close. Maybe our base can say. Usually if you get 2 snipes, you're in the running for the snipers final on Sunday. But we're not going to rig anybody but the winners into the main final, where all the big money is. 3 people got 2 snipes this game, though. Did 3 people get 2 snipes? That's interesting. Anyways, there's the results. We're still... We just literally brought this, like... We dusted this off the shelves last night, so it's still a little bit bugged. But Papa Vicky, 47% of the votes, gets the extra cash. So congratulations. Our base says last time the snipers final had 2 players with 1 snipe, so 2 is a really good chance. Yeah, it just depends on all the snipes. Oops, wrong scene. It just depends on how the games play out. So, real quick, I want to remind people, because we've got a lot of chatters here, that we've got a couple more days of content coming up. So, and we have more stuff coming right after this. After a short break, of course, we got game 2. So if you guys watching want to play and be gray, you might be able to get in. Game 2's coming up next. But before we get there, we have the memes. So our memes channel in our Discord has been open for business. And many people have been submitting their memes. So I am pulling up the memes, and then chat can vote on the memes, laugh at the memes, and then we'll get ready for the next game. Here we go. This meme is not factually correct. I was not paid off to rig Russell in. And if I was, it certainly was not $500. The fake Russell donated $20, not $500, okay? So thank you, Russell, for playing, but... Yeah, I did not receive $500 to get him in, believe me, all right? If someone has $500 offer, you know, or just email my business email, and we'll keep it a secret. I'm kidding. Next one. Papa Vicky. Yeah, Papa Vicky, not going to lie, I would never marry you. You'd probably snipe me because of it, but you also snipe people who you marry. So I'm not sure that I trust you. I'm not sure other people should trust you. But... But well played. What do we got here? So Arizona Ranger wasn't really in the game for very long. And wasn't able to be the master gaslighter this time. So it wasn't the story that Arizona Ranger would have wanted. And I guess to a degree that is what this is symbolizing. I'm not exactly sure. That is someone being, you know, lit by gas. So there we go. What do we got here? Knights. He does exactly what I do. It's a lot of warrior, but better. I'm still... I still am in the camp that maybe yellow shouldn't have made that many. I feel as though it wasn't as good as Knights. If yellow would have had a couple thousand more gold, maybe yellow could have won the game. I don't know. But it's fun to... It was a fun game plan. I think he did that before as well in games. So, that's not bad. What is this? I like this. This is my favorite one so far. It's cool. But yeah, it's just against all the other units, it's kind of worthless. And don't you spend 75 gold on it too? I think it's 75 gold. Also, yeah, like Niohe's pissed, like says it's kind of insulting. Yeah, like what type of support is that? You're getting attacked by siege onagers and organ guns and whatever else, and then your help is Zolotls. Like, what is that crap? Okay, what do we have? I was expecting there to be more Russell memes, so this is good. Also, I don't know what it is about a meme that's just horrible quality, but it makes it so much funnier for me. So props to whoever chose the grainiest photo they could find. Oh, I misread Neohe? Okay. All right. Well, I would have been disrespected if Zolotls were supporting me. Okay, next meme. Hello? That's so true, though. Russell felt so bad after letting Blue die. Being like, Blue, where can I help you? What can I do? Did nothing except kill his king as his king was running for safety. Like, it's okay. Like, Russell shouldn't feel bad about it. That's the game. He got his $25 at the end of the day. But, I mean, I guess you could do it and have some regrets later. In all fairness to Russell, he says he does feel a bit bad. In all fairness, it did feel like he changed course. I was expecting Russell to not help anybody, and he actually tried to kill green. So he did actually back up purple at that one point. Jaguar Tree creating a wonder because they've won both games in Registered Rumble 6. T90. Surprise Pikachu face. Did you mean to say Regicide Rumble 5? Or community games? This isn't clicking for me. The meme has the wrong number. But, okay, all right, we'll skip. We'll skip it. Sorry, not your best work. Not your best work. OG Straggler Trees King trying to escape. Yeah, honestly, this is what it was like. This is what it was like. Because he had, like, so many stables and archer ranges. You know what would make this meme perfect is you put a mule cart in one of these openings. That would have actually made this an 11 for me. I'm going to give it a 9, but just one mule cart placed somewhere on there, and it just so happened to go directly into the mule cart would have been perfect. That's good stuff, though. Okay, and then Russell going to help Straggler Tree. Straggler Tree killing Russell's king. Yeah, maybe a little bit comparable. I mean, Russell was close. He was close. But there were two very big differences between the sniping attempts. Are there any memes for Gray, by the way? Probably not, because it was so close to the end. But I feel like Gray deserves some memes here. That's the last one. I don't know if I have an extra one. I never expected Gray to win. Oh, okay. Best meme of them all. Best meme of them all was actually for the finish. It just came in. Dude, you're not going to see that every day, what we saw in the final moments there. They're both going for it at the exact same time, and they're both losing their minds. They couldn't believe it. Also, on a serious note, though, like, the tower trick gave Gray the victory. So it's not about just, like, hiding where your king is. It's actually just having that extra building that buys you a couple extra seconds. Without the tower, he obviously dies. And it's a different story. So, yeah, this feels like the best one, and it's perfect to sign off this game. Really good game. It will be fun to see both purple and gray again, assuming we do see them. So, good stuff, guys. Good stuff.